Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm bringing you the slop, the whole slop, and nothing but the slop. You know what I love about the IWC? Is the consistency, or lack thereof, if you will. I love how these people sit on their moral perch, the most self-righteous, indignated people you will ever see. And it's not just the IWC, I guess you can say this too, it's just primarily within my sphere, but people who pretend as if they themselves practice what they preach. They don't. They don't. It just matters what social circles they happen to be around and how they themselves feel as if it should be practiced based off of their narrative that they support. Now, I'll be the first person to tell you who I am. I don't hide the ball on who I am. I let you know who I am, and you can take it for what it is. Never will claim to be a good person. Never will claim to be a bad person. Say what I feel and I say what I mean, and you can take it for what it is. Whereas you have other people who sit here on their moral perch, they give you all these speeches, they hold you in contempt. They condemn you for the language that you use if it doesn't follow the same practice that they themselves do in their own personal lives, that they themselves keep within their own inner circle. Which brings us to our topic of today, Sean Ross Sapp. We talked about him in the past. It's been a while since we actually talked about Sean Ross Sapp. Whenever I actually do talk about him, as of late, it's typically, for the most part, defending his news coverage whenever someone comes after him and saying the dude does his due diligence. But there's a difference between Sean Ross Sapp, the reporter, or the wrestling writer, as he likes to quote himself as, versus Sean Ross Sapp, the person. Now, make no mistake about it. Take it for what you will as far as how you want to say who I am or anybody else who you hate or who you don't like. Sean Ross Sapp is a very disingenuous person. Sean Ross Sapp is very manipulative within his language. Sean Ross Sapp is the kind of person who will project literally anything onto anyone if it means deflecting himself from the actual criticism that he has to actually encounter. So, let's take it from the beginning, shall we? We go to Twitter, and you have this person who states this. I'm not going to say the person's name, nor am I going to put them out there for you to see their name or anything like that. I typically do that for thumbnails and stuff like that, but I feel that's not really, in my opinion, at the very least, I don't really feel that's harmful, right? Because, it's just highlighting the actual point based off of the general consensus of the audience that's actually talking about the topic at hand when I put them in my thumbnails. This one's a little bit more deeper though. This person puts out this tweet. The rate of sales is poor, preaching to the converted. A half-done job, appealing to Hispanics and having faith in the traditional, and I quote, walk-up crowd is the difference maker. Completely expect WWE to call their friends in ICE to hurt the draw. This is a reflection off of Sean Ross Sapp, I guess, quote tweeting that King AO guy, talking about the fact that MJF versus Mystico, Hair versus Mask should definitely be booked for All In, right? This guy's reflecting off of a tweet that Sean Ross Sapp pretty much explains why he feels MJF and Mystico should be. Well, not why, but essentially exclaiming that should be a match for All In. So, or shall I say, a response to this person suggesting that WWE could most likely call their friends in ICE to hurt MJF and Mystico at All In, and he puts in parentheses, not a joke, meaning he's dead serious. Sean Ross Sapp, he responds to this tweet that says, not a joke, by saying, I actually thought and feared this over last week. Sean Ross Sapp put out a tweet saying that he believes the guy who put in parentheses, not a joke, when talking about WWE will call their friends in ICE to hurt AEW's All In show. He put, and I quote, in parentheses, not a joke, Sean Ross Sapp responded by saying, I actually thought and feared this over the last week. Now, personally, how did I take it when I first seen it? I laughed. I laughed at the guy who suggested it, even when he said it's not a joke, because it's fucking hilarious to even envision that. and I didn't take Sean Ross Sapp seriously. And I still don't take him seriously. It's pretty obvious. It's a fucking joke. He's clearly fucking joking. And everybody went after Sean Ross Sapp. Pretty much said, hey, dude, you're a fucking clown. Pretty much all the things you typically see when people come after Sean Ross Sapp, right? Some in good faith, some in bad faith. Depends how they actually reflect off the situation. And Sean Ross Sapp, he took the rage bait and he went back and forth with the people, which is fine. I do the same thing too. But this is the one that really gets me though, right? This is what gets me. Before all the responses started to break off, he puts out this tweet. I am baffled that people took this seriously, but I probably shouldn't have been. This is in the same tone of, and I quote, I fear Stone Cold is going to come back and go for the Divas title. So this is Sean Ross Sapp essentially saying everybody took him seriously when it wasn't worth being taken seriously. Once again, just reiterating my stance. I never took him seriously. I seen the post before it originally blew up and everybody got pissed off at Sean. I didn't take it seriously. I knew he was joking. You can tell by the tone he was joking. Who the fuck actually believes? I mean, except for the insane weirdo who he responded to initially, who said not a joke. Who the fuck actually believes WWE is gonna call fucking ice over the AEW? That's retarded as shit. But the way I look at it, at least for me, should I be that charitable to Sean Ross Sapp? Now, according to him, it's pretty obvious it's a joke, right? And I'm pretty sure his overall attitude when approaching this is, you people are just as you're just as disingenuous as I stated about Sean Ross Sapp, right? You guys are being obtuse. You guys are legitimately making yourself believe that I was actually serious so you can paint me as a bad guy, and you guys purposely misinterpreted a joke. By the way, I agree. You know who doesn't agree with that though? You know who doesn't agree with any of those statements? You know who doesn't agree with me calling these people disingenuous people who misinterpret jokes on purpose? Sean Ross Sapp doesn't believe me believing him in the first place. You know how I believe that? I go to my DMs a couple of months ago. I already made a video out on this, and this is what Sean Ross Sapp said to me, because I put out a video a couple of months ago talking about the whole RJ City nonsense when he was trying to call out The Undertaker, and I put in my thumbnail, hi, I'm RJ Diddy, and excuse me, because I haven't. Let me see this again. Hold up. I put out a thumbnail that says, hi, I'm RJ Diddy, and I hope you sleep with your doors locked. Sorry about that. That's what I put on my thumbnail. I'll probably put it in the actual thumbnail in itself, or in the picture of the thumbnail, just so you guys can look at it yourselves. And when Sean Ross Sapp took that picture, and this is in my DMs, by the way, and he used it as an example when I said I was joking, right? He said to me, you can treat your audience like they're stupid, but you can't treat me like I'm stupid. You love plausible deniability. It gives you the ability to put horrible things in your thumbnail and get people to listen, whether or not they're in your videos. I don't know and don't care, but you love claiming the thumbnails you make are out of context. Then you say, that's the game. No, you're a scumbag. Even worse than that, you're a scumbag who doesn't admit they're one and plays victim. My, oh my, how the tables have turned. Am I right? Plausible deniability, you say? So we shouldn't take jokes seriously, right? I mean, clearly when I'm joking around, I'm treating my audience like they're stupid. Oh, in reality, folks, if you make jokes and those jokes fit your narrative, no matter the context, you guys are stupid. Even though you follow me, you know how I get down. You know my approach to topics. I think you guys are stupid when I joke like that. Not Sean Ross Sapp, though. Not Sean Ross Sapp. No, Sean Ross Sapp puts out a very, very, very divisive tweet. He gets to claim it as a joke. He gets to claim plausible deniability himself. Am I right? And apparently he's not a scumbag. Now, within the reference of what I made with RJ, is he really Diddy? Huh? No, he's not. When you watch that video and you know the topic is about RJ and The Undertaker, do I make any reference about him being Diddy? No. Because it seems like it just rhymed and it was funny. Whether you find it funny is irrelevant, but that was the intent. But with Sean Ross Sapp, he gets to do the exact same thing. Oh, gosh darn it. That's right. Because that joke in regards to RJ, either A, it doesn't fit his narrative as far as how he views the world, which is fine. That's fine. The jokes that I make don't fit your narrative as far as how you approach jokes. That's cool. Or he happens to be friends with RJ or people who are affiliated with RJ, or they have a likened narrative or a likened identity that he feels offended on behalf of RJ for. Any of those three things happen to be the case, but certainly he's not going to go out of his way to suggest that, hey, that was just not a cool thing to do, right? When he is pretty much saying that his jokes going after WWE, pretty much saying that it's okay that they're going to call ice on AEW is totally, perfectly a sane thing to say outwardly. No, sorry, Bob, right? Like I said, plausible deniability, right? Definitely not going to treat your audience like they're fucking retarded, right? Because jokes are definitely jokes, right, Sean? Especially in context, right, Sean? This is what I mean when I say don't take these people seriously. And let me say this one more time, reiterating this. Separate Sean, the writer, the journalist, which I will give credit for. People can say whatever they want about Sean as a writer or a journalist. I think the proof is in the pudding in regards to his credibility and the fact that he's broken stories that have been 99.9% of the time consistent, and they did make sense and they did follow up with what actually did happen. I'm not going to take that away from him. Put that to the side. Sean Ross Sapp as a person, absolute blatant double standard. Absolute blatant hypocrisy. Disingenuous as absolute fuck. Does not follow his own principles at all. Legitimately goes out of his way to pretend as if the things that he does, that he says you do, is only bad when you do it, but good when he does it. The perfect example of gaslighting, the perfect example of pure unadulterated projection. And the sad part about it is, it's not just him. He's just he himself is just too much of a dumb fuck to not leave a paper trail. But I'm telling you, everybody in the IWC thinks like this for the most part. Every single person. And if he has the balls or the audacity to come on this video and disprove me in the comment section, by all rights, and get clowned again like you did before on the last video where you deleted almost all your fucking posts, in particular the one that was pinned. Get clowned again. I will very much, in fact, it's not even a challenge. I will invite you to do so. And get clowned again. I'm all for people having to take up for themselves. I'm all for people having to defend themselves. What I'm not okay is sitting on your moral perch and pretending that what you do is a good thing, but when the same practice is done by the other person, it's not a good thing, because you two differ when it comes to your actual beliefs or narratives or approach to subjects in general. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Either the practice in itself should be taken into equation, and then you can suggest whether or not you care about the topic in itself, or here's just a thought: shut the fuck up and stay out of it. It has nothing to do with you. That's just overall for any topic you discuss. Fucking moron. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you feel about the topic. How do you feel about Sean Ross Sapp and how he came across? Do you have anything else that you would like to put across? Because again, it's not just Sean. Don't get it twisted. One more time. He's just one out of all the puzzle pieces that happen to be within the IWC as far as how they conduct themselves. He is nothing more than just one person. They're all like that, who are affiliated with people like him or people within that sphere as far as their approach to professional wrestling. And you know who I'm talking about. But like I said, talk amongst each other in the IWC. My name is Millennial Smart, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces, P, Ice.